we finally have a Gundam that'll beat the remake in a fist fight? I think so. Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another Gunpla review, and today I'm taking a look at this right here, the high-grade Gundam Dantalion from Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans Gekkou. So there's what Gundam Dantalion looks like out of the box, snapped together with moderate effort and most of the stickers on there. And all I can say is I am absolutely in love with this design. It is so cool in every way. The silhouette of this mobile suit is fantastic. What we've got here are more human-like proportions. The shoulders have been reduced down compared to some other kits. And don't even get me started on how awesome that skull-like head is. I mean seriously, I have to make a Mecha Gaikotsu custom out of this. Now is finally the time. So as you've guessed by now, I'm a huge fan of this design. It looks great. Some of the parts that really stand out to me are those cool grey parts that are inlaid into the shoulders, how that typical Gundam blue and yellow has been adapted into the torso without taking over the entire thing. If you flip that around to the back, this is in an all pretty dark off grey, kind of with a bit of a greenish hue in there. I'm definitely loving the fact that there's a complete lack of side skirting on this, but that does mean there is also a complete lack of ass armor. This does look a little bit odd because that is just the frame that's under every other Gundam, so that just kind of looks like it's missing a part. Those hollow A-shaped pieces there just in front of the hip joints look fantastic. The legs also look insanely good too, with a lot of detail and some decent panel lining opportunities for a high grade. Also, the way you can see some nice select sections of the inner frame on the back there looks great. One thing I'm not entirely a big fan of though is the feet. They are very large, but I guess that's not unusual for an Iron Blooded Orphans Gundam. Color accuracy wise, the color on here is pretty good. There are a lot of stickers to be used on here, mainly on the waist unit and the knees. The rest are all for the backpack, the T booster. So again, right out of the box, it looks great. It's just not that color accurate. Once again, out of the box, it does look exceptionally good. But if you're wanting it to look perfect, you're gonna need some yellow, some red, some blue, and some light gray for the toes. As for size, this comes in at about 13.5 centimeters, and there it is beside Barbatos, Barbatos Lupus, Barbatos Lupus Rex, Vale, a Master Grade, a Perfect Grade, and a Figma. As for accessories, there's the Gundam Dantalion with everything that it comes with. The bayonet rifle, which can transform into the bayonet blade like this. In this sword mode, this handle here pops off and it looks just like that. And next up then, of course, is the absolutely awesome T booster. There is actually a B booster as well that doesn't come with this kit, so I think that means we're going to be seeing another one pretty soon in the future, and I'm happy about that. But anyway, this here just connects into those standard slots on the back. So I assume this will attach to, this will connect to Barbatos and all the other Iron Blooded Orphans kits. I'll try that after. But anyway, it just pops in there like that, and that is the booster. It is a little bit wiggly, it does feel a little bit loose at times, but the little stand for it here, that has these two little tabs, which connect into these two sections here, like that, and that holds it up just like so, and holds these two parts together. You do notice though that there are these big holes in the side. That is for when it goes around and attaches onto the arms as the half cowl. But all in all, that looks pretty damn cool. Okay, so let's try attaching it onto Barbatos Lupus, so off with its backpack, and let's try to attach the T booster. So yeah, of course that attaches on there as well. So I guess that means you could flip it around. The arms aren't going to fold up inside it, but I guess you could just pull off the arms, flip this around like so, and just bring it forward. It doesn't particularly look right. I guess you could just attach the Dantalion's arms onto Lupus to use this, but that's pretty cool. Lupus is definitely a much bigger machine, so these arms suit it that much more. And pop that out, and yeah, that is pretty cool. Okay, so in order to turn the T booster into the half cowl T, you need to bend up the arm like this, raise it towards the shoulder, bring this section of the T booster forward. As you can see, the arm is going to slot into this thing. You're going to want to pull off that arm next because this whole thing has to come apart. So bust that open like that, stick the arm into it, and then reconnect the bottom section up like so. So there is the arm tucked away. That's pretty cool. Before I built this, I actually thought you'd have to remove the whole arm. So I'm glad that you don't. Then you just attach on that like so, pull out the arm, so this does have a joint in there, which is awesome, and finally pull out the manipulator. And then you do exactly the same thing on the other side, and there it is with the half cowl T, and that looks really savage. That looks so cool. There is a half cowl B which goes on the legs, and I really hope that Bandai release that too. Otherwise there's such wasted potential by only releasing this one. So if they do release that, I hope to do some kind of minor color change or something like that to the Dantalion that comes with that. but I really hope we get the half Cowl B. And the last thing to mention then is to attach the sword, we have this little adapter here that pops on.
Oops.
So the half cowl does have a lot of articulation, this part here, that moves up and down, we got to bend at the elbow and it rotates there, just like your standard Gundam arm. The fingers on there, those open up, and both of these have joints here and here, which means they are awesome for posing, but in here we have that little slot in which you attach the sword with that adapter. So that just pops in like that. Then close the manipulator on it, and there you go. Okay, so moving on to the articulation, and you've seen a Gundam Frame 4 Gundam before, see, that was too many 4s. But anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time at it because I'm running out of time tonight and I need to unbox that justice as well. But anyway, let's take a look at the half cowl. There's the arms all the way around. This little part moves up and down like that. We've got a twist here, the bend at the elbow, a lot of wrist action down here, so up and down like that, as well as a spin, and that opens and closes like so, and we've got a bend at those knuckles. Anyway, off with the half cowl and free Dantalion. Anyway, like I said, we've done this so many times before with Gundam Frame 4 Gundams, so I'm just going to point out the interesting aspects about this. This little A part here, that does kind of get it a little blocked at times, but if you pull that hip forward, you will get a decent amount of articulation out of that. The rest is pretty good. This, even though it looks like it would get in the way, won't because of the style of the design. And one of the most interesting things here is these little armor sections on the traps. As you probably know already, with these Gundams, there's this little kind of piston in there. So with that covered up, it looks like the arms are coming from a lower section, a slightly lower section than what we're used to. So that gives it a more kind of human look around the shoulders and whatnot. They're a little smaller and they're connected to the head via that part. So that's pretty cool. But that does mean they do move from what looks like a kind of odd point, but something about that makes this kit look so awesome when it's in poses. All in all, this thing, it's just great all around. I absolutely almost forgot to mention these are the only manipulators you get in here, so that means no posed expressive manipulators, sadly. But because it's Gundam Frame 4, you can always get some from the option sets, but it would have been nice to see some. So that is it for the review, and if I haven't licked this model kit's ass enough already, I'm gonna do it again. This thing is absolutely awesome. It looks great, the color accuracy is pretty good. You may want to paint it to get it a little bit better than what you get out of the box. That skull head is the best Gundam head I've ever seen. It reminds me of an Astray, but better. Of course, this is a white Iron Blooded Orphans Gundam, so that means you'll be able to kit bash it really easily with all the other white ones like the Calamity War Flauros, Bale, and all versions of Barbatos. And as for the accessories, the half cowl T, the T booster, is one of the coolest accessories I've ever seen, and I'm really hoping and holding out for the half cowl B and B booster sometime in the future. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching. Of course, if you want to win one of these, then head on over to the unboxing video and leave a comment there. The comments for the giveaways are kind of filling up the comments a little bit too much, so that's where that's going to be. Leave comments about the model kit itself and whatever else in this comment section. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with all Gunpla news and releases. And as always, I'll see you next time.
Wait!